Welcome back to Fisher Football Focus, your weekly look into the Cardinal football program. I'm Jacob Rodriguez. The Cardinals closed out the regular season on Saturday with a dominant 41-14 win over Alfred State, rushing for over 300 yards and getting a strong performance from quarterback Ryan Whitney in his first start since Week 2. That victory capped off a 7-3 season and put Fisher firmly in the postseason conversation. And 2 days later, on Monday, the team got the news they've been hoping for. St. John Fisher football is officially headed to its first bowl game since the 2016 season. Before we hear from head coach Ed Raby and quarterback Ryan Whitney, let's take a look back at Saturday's win. Cardinals played their final regular season game at home this past Saturday against Alfred State. With a win, Fisher had a great shot at receiving a bowl game. The guy to be on the lookout for coming into this one was Noah Courier, and he made his presence felt on the first 3 offensive snaps of the game when he broke one open for 57 yards all the way to the house. 7-0 Alfred early. Ryan Whitney got his starting job back as Mason Lister was sidelined with an injury. He once again showed off his dual threat ability, accounting for 281 yards of total offense and 3 touchdowns. Whitney fired right back at Alfred on the connection to Cusack in the back of the end zone, tied at 7. Now at this point, it was looking like this was going to be an old-fashioned shootout, as Elijah Georges picked up 43 yards, setting up the quick score for Alfred that broke the tie. But Deontay Hall had his way with this Alfred State defense and started the second quarter strong when he punched it in to tie it again. This Cardinal defense had 3 fourth-down stops and really turned up the intensity in the second quarter. It only took 2 plays for the Cardinals to capitalize on their defense's effort when Ryan Whitney took over the game and ran one 59 yards all the way to the house. Cards up 21-14. 4th down at the 50 for the Pioneers just minutes before the half, and they turned it over on downs. Whitney would just take care of the ball and let Deontay do what Deontay does. He shed about 8 tackles on his way to his second touchdown of the game. And with just under 30 seconds left in the first half, Kyle Demore picked up his second INT of the season and put Logan Larata in perfect position to cap off their 24-point second quarter. Immediately out of halftime, Whitney delivered the kill shot on a connection with senior Chase Vincenzi, and kicker Logan Larata tacked on 3 more points to cap the 41-14 victory over the Alfred State Pioneers. This win locked up a bowl game for the Cards, which is to be played on Saturday at noon against Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute at Growney Stadium. Saturday's performance set the tone for what would become a historic week in Fisher football's history. Coach Raby shared his perspective on both the win and the postseason opportunity ahead. I started by asking Coach Raby about what it meant for the team to learn on Monday that they'd officially earned a bowl berth and what this return to postseason football represents for the program in his first year as the head coach.
I mean, it means a lot. You know, we set a goal in training camp. It's kind of funny. First day of training camp, first team meeting, one of our goals was to make the postseason for the first time since 2016. So certainly anytime you set yourself a goal and you accomplish it, the guys are really excited about it. I'm proud of the team. It's a big deal for our program to get back to the standard that we have for ourselves as a program. And as far as vindication for myself, it really isn't about that. And right, I feel like we had a good staff, a good group of players. We put our heads down, went to work, and accomplished something special.
With that accomplishment on the board, we shifted to how Fisher positioned itself so well heading into Selection Day. I asked Coach about the offensive performance against Alfred State, particularly the 300-plus rushing yards and the poise that Ryan Whitney showed in his return to the starting lineup.
I thought our offense was lights out, and honestly, the lightning delay, I don't know if it affected us necessarily, but I definitely felt like we had some momentum going when that lightning delay happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed. I think everyone, top to bottom offensively did a great job, and again, not surprised that Whitney played lights out. I've said all year long that I feel like we have multiple quarterbacks that can start for us, and that's a huge luxury to have. And honestly, all those guys in the quarterback room have done a great job of putting their egos away and being about the team. So it's been great to watch. And it was awesome to watch our offense kind of steamroll most of the game.
The offensive momentum that the Cardinals got going would not have been possible without some timely adjustments on the other side of the ball. So I followed up by asking Coach Raby about the defense's response, especially after that first quarter, and how they were able to limit Noah Courier and Alfred State the rest of the way.
I didn't think we came out ready to play on defense, and really, honestly, we didn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the film, we maybe moved the defensive front a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it was really, we just had to get back to getting off blocks, run to the ball, and tackling. And once we did that, I was definitely proud with how we responded, but certainly wasn't happy with how we started the game.
With Saturday behind them and the bowl announcement made, all focus now shifts to the challenge ahead. To wrap up our conversation, I asked Coach about the quarterback plan for this weekend and how Fisher matches up with an RPI team that's been explosive all year long.
Whitney's going to start the game. As far as the game plan, we're kind of early in that right now. I know this RPI is a great football team. They will be very talented in all three phases. They're one of the best special teams units we're going to see all year. They're the top offense in the Liberty League. They're one of the best defenses in the country. So top to bottom, they're a great football team. Couple possessions will go a different way, and then they're in a national playoff. So I think for us as a program, we've got to play our best game. But it's also a great opportunity for our guys to play a high-quality opponent and see where we're at and kind of test our mettle against one of the best teams in the country.
After speaking with Coach Raby, I caught up with quarterback Ryan Whitney, who helped set the stage for Monday's bowl selection with his best performance of the season. I began by asking Ryan what it meant for him and his teammates to learn on Monday that they had officially clinched a postseason berth and how special this moment is for the program.
I think it's awesome. It's kind of like a tribute to the hard work we put in. So happy for the guys. We put in all the work, over the spring and the summer that people don't see. So it's cool to see us get rewarded for that. It's cool for the coaches too. They put in so many hours that people don't see, watching film, coaching us up during meetings and stuff. So it's awesome. It's awesome for the school as well. Bringing a new coach and kind of flip the script as people were saying. So it's a cool time to be a part of the Fisher football team.
From there, we talked about the journey that led him back to being this team's starting quarterback. I asked him what it was like to lose the starting job in week 3 and how he was able to stay ready when his number was called.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I think the hardest thing for me was, as a competitor and as a captain, it was hard for me to not be able to help my team win. Being close to Mason and kind of coming in together at the same time, I was super happy for him to kind of get to show what he could do. You know what I mean? And I think we're in a cool situation where if one of us gets hurt, we know that we have guys that can step up, and that's a tribute to the culture of the program and kind of who Mason is, and he was ready to go, and I'm so proud of kind of the way he played, and I know he feels the same way of me kind of coming in. But yeah, no, it was definitely tough, and I think the coaches and my teammates helped me, just letting me know to stay ready, and they had all the belief in me this past week and helped me perform this weekend. So
it's certain that their preparation paid off in what was Fisher's most dominant offensive showing of the season. So I asked Ryan what allowed the offense to click the way that it did in Saturday's win and how the chemistry within the locker room helped produce that kind of product.
I think it just comes from, being prepared, having great chemistry. We're really close, outside of football too. You know what I mean? We eat together, we walk around together, we hang out outside of, school and class and football as well. So I think going into the game and having the ability and the will to play for your brothers, you know what I mean, and go out there and not just get a win for the school, but kind of play hard for a guy that is counting on you is so important. So I think that, having that feeling and getting started hot as an offense and being prepared obviously comes from coaching and watching film throughout the week. I think that's what helped us get the victory on Saturday.
Ryan Whitney's dual threat ability was on full display in this win. We also talked about that and whether he embraces that identity trait of being a dual threat quarterback as Coach Raby describes him.
I think I bring a different aspect than Mason does and some of the other guys in the room. So definitely been able to pride myself on my running ability and kind of taking the strength program serious here over the past 2 years to kind of get to that point. None of that would have been possible without, my receivers making plays, and Deontay ran so well in Cam, and obviously my whole line to block their butts off. So.
And now they'll carry that momentum into the postseason. To close, I asked Ryan what it means to be named the starter for Saturday's matchup against RPI and how this group is preparing for a high-level opponent. It
means everything, to have his kind of belief in me as well as the team's, and one of the most important games of the year. I think it all comes down to execution. I think we're ready. The big thing this program has been ready to see is kind of facing a quality opponent. You know what I mean? You hear people say iron sharpens iron, so we kind of want to see where we match up, and they're a great football team, and we're going to need to come out and play fast and execute. Coaches have a great game plan, and we're ready to go, and we couldn't be happier to be playing, a week after the season. That's a really cool feeling for all the guys.
Fisher hosts RPI at noon on Saturday right here at Growney Stadium in the program's first bowl appearance since 2016. Should they come away with a win, it'll be the program's first since 2014. For more on your Cardinal football team, check me out on Instagram at JR Sports Media. I'm Jacob Rodriguez, and as always, go Cardinals!